Now, this is just my experience, and you might have differing opinions and so on, or experiences, and that's cool. If you do, please let me know in the comments below. But these are my experiences. Now, kind of to rewind a little bit and backtrack into to how it all started. So, I got out of the military in January of this year. It took me about 4 months to actually file a claim. And as a lot of veterans, a lot of you guys might know, it takes a lot out of you to actually build the courage to seek help for your problems and to seek and to the thought of filing a disability claim for your issues seems so daunting, because it's like, you know what, I know this guy and that guy personally, they have XYZ issues, and it's so much worse than mine, I believe, and therefore I don't deserve to file a claim. I don't deserve this. I don't deserve that. That is, trust me, that is not the right mindset. You sacrificed your time, your mental health, your physical health, whatever job you might have done, whatever branch you were in, you signed up on the dotted line, you swore in, you served your time, and you deserve whatever it is that you deserve. And if it's, VA disability, then go ahead and claim that, shoot your shot, right? But that was my experience. I had an issue with filing a claim until somebody told me, like, hey man, do I need to knock you over the head? Go and file your claim. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. What the heck? What is it gonna hurt, right? It just takes a couple, hours out of my day at a time. It's not a big deal. So I did, and finally in April of this year, I filed my claim. I actually had several claims, but they were for a variety of issues that I believed I had suffered from while I was in the military. Biggest one being mental health, and I might get into that in another video later, or I might get into it in this video, but that was pretty much my major concern, was my mental health. I felt like it deteriorated a lot in terms of, like, I had severe depression in the military, and I had terrible sleep, and yeah. And so anyways, I filed that, and if you did not know, and this is not like a how-to, right? This is basically my experience and hopefully helps you out. But basically, I went onto the VA.gov. There's an option there to file your disability claim. I filed a disability claim. It asked me what things are you claiming. I claimed several things, and it gives you the options in the drop-down menu. Mental health was my priority, and there's several issues for mental health. Mine was like mental disorder, also claimed as depression, anxiety, and sleep disorder. And so that's what I did. When it asks you those questions, and this is my experience, it's very confusing, because they're like complicated medical jargon. In that case, just simply Google it, right? Look at your issue, look at the things that you might believe are related to your issue, and then just Google whether or not it is, and if it's closely related to your issue, and if it is, then you file for it. Now you can go ahead and hire, maybe you can connect with a VSO, Veteran Service Officer, I believe the abbreviation is, which you can find at your nearest veteran community center or veteran center, resource center. But I didn't. I did the whole thing myself, and I believe most of you can just do it yourself and actually have a really effective claim in which you get the rating you deserve. And so I did. And my problem was I didn't have any real medical records, because if you are like me, I was too proud to go and see medical when I was in the military for all the issues I believe I had. And so I might have went to the I did go to medical to seek like mental treatment for a couple things, but nothing major. It was like to see a psychologist. And so anyways, I only had a few things on my record, right? And so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna use that. So I took those records from my e-benefits, and you can request that, and then I submitted those documents in a PDF file into my claim. And so when you do the claim, and you figure out what things you're claiming, it's going to ask you possibly a few questions, when it happened. Um, you want to get into close to detail as possible when you file, because it's pretty much your own personal statement. And then from there, you're going to be able to attach your documentation that kind of helps prove that it is service connected. Thankfully, I had at least one thing that proved that it was my issue was service connected, and so and their definition of service connected is basically like, did you go see the doctor when you were in the military? Was it for that issue? Very possible that it's highly likely that it's service connected at that point. Seriously, and my situation was pretty much closely identical to that. Right, I went to the psychologist twice, and it became service connected. Deep down, I know it's service connected because there was occurrences in the military that did trigger those issues or cause those issues, and so I know it's service connected, but they need documentation that proves that, right? So anyways, I did that, filed the claim. From April, I didn't get my CMP exam until July. Now, a CMP exam is a compensation and pension exam that the VA does routinely in order to prove or have a actual doctor that they contract, right, to examine you for your issue. And the doctor usually specializes in whatever the issue that you are claiming in, and in order to give a reasonable analysis back to the VA so that their rater can make a decision whether or not to give you a rating, and if they're going to give you a rating, what rating to give you, right? And so my CMP exam, and there's several locations on where you can get your CMP exam and where they'll send you, right? At the time, they sent me to QTC, which is a contractor that the VA works with for CMP exams. There's several of them, but QTC is one of the common ones and the one I went to. And I went there for my issues. So they set up the exams in June. My exams were scheduled for July. I had my exams in July, in which my experience there, I can do a whole nother video on that, so I won't get into it. But make sure when you go to these exams, you're prepared. And when I say prepared, I mean, if you don't know what a DBQ is, Google DBQ and then next to it, VA, and the issues that you're claiming. If it's mental health, search up mental health, DBQ, VA, and study that and look at it. Look if those issues are what issues you're closely related to your issue, right? And answer, when they ask you certain questions, answer them accordingly so you're not missing out. I recommend taking notes. If the DBQ you're not a doctor, and so the DBQ has medical jargon. If you can take notes from the DBQ and say, like, oh yeah, that does apply to me, that does apply to me, this applies to me, use that as your notes. On top of that, make sure you're jotting down before your exam what issues or occurrences or events that you can think of on a day-to-day basis, or in the past year, or when it happened, on your notes, and just jot it down. Basically anything you can think of that's related to the issue, jot that down. If you have additional medical records from an outside doctor, get that. If you can see a doctor for your issues, go ahead and see them. So anyways, I had all that, and I did all that, and I took my notes, had my exam, and the exams, it's just dependent on the issue that you're checking up on and the doctor you're seeing, but and it's all the time frame is going to vary. The questions they're going to ask are going to vary dependent on the DBQ and dependent on the issues that you have. But basically, you just want to go in there to prepared, and hopefully, and I thought hopefully I was right. And I'll get into that later, the results of that. But that was in July. And in October, I got my results. Now, I got denied for 8 out of the 9 things. I think I claimed 9 things. 8 out of 9 things I got denied for. Only one thing, and which, guess what it was? It was my mental health issue that I got a rating for, and it was a low rating, right? From what I believed I deserved at the time. And so, um, I guess luckily I had those 1 or 2 records that indicated that I did have it was caused or service connected. And so from there, I since I didn't agree with the denial of certain things, I couldn't really prove a few of the other things, even though I know I have the issues. So I didn't even bother filing a supplemental for them because I just at some point it just becomes impossible and it's a headache. And so I just filed a supplemental for a few of the issues that either got denied and the one issue, which was the mental health, in which I didn't agree with the rating that they gave me. So I filed a supplemental. And once you get your rating, you will get options, or via your options, in which you can either file a supplemental, file an increase in your rating, or go to higher level review or things like that. And so I filed a supplemental. I had another CMP exam. They had changed the contractor to Optum, and Optum's just another version of CMP. Really, it's just another company. And their I saw them for my issue. After that, they had did my exam in late October, so it was relatively quick. And now it's my guess that if your claim is just if it's already open and you just have like a supplemental claim or something like that, possibly your turnaround for the supplemental will be a lot faster than it would be an initial claim, because that was within the same month, and my initial claim took 4 months to get me a CMP exam. So I don't know. That was just my experience. And now I'm just waiting on those results, and it's been about a month and a half since I took those exams. There hasn't really been any movement. Now, once you do file your claim and you're tracking the status, you can view that on your via.gov, right? You can view. There's a drop-down menu. You can click view your disability claim status. You can view that, and you can see where it goes and track it. Now, I'm going to mention a few resources that helped me out a lot when filing this, and then I'll go ahead and end the video. Basically, the only resources that really helped me was watching Combat Craig, and shout out to Combat Craig, helped me out a ton on YouTube, and honestly, Reddit. There's a lot of on the veterans benefits page. So many veterans with different questions and different issues, and issues that relate and that could help are on there, and I totally recommend checking them out. There's like a million different resources that you can view online. I wouldn't pay for, a lawyer or any of these guys that says, you know what, I can guarantee you that you'll get a higher rating. We'll just require 3 months worth of back pay or something like that. I wouldn't do it, and I think most people wouldn't recommend it. But if it helps you out, all the power to you. I would try my best just to do my own filing. Just make sure you just have all your documentation with you. If you can get it, have a nexus letter. Right, nexus letter is from a doctor to prove service connection for your issues, your disabilities in the military. Body letters, personal statements, medical records proving the service connection, right? More so medical records that were recorded in service. Also, next best thing, having VA medical records. You can see, if you haven't signed up for VA healthcare, sign up for them. If you're not seeing an outside doctor for those same issues, try to go see one if you can afford it. All those things are going to go ahead and help you get the rating that you deserve, and help you out. You know, who can complain? Even if you have 30%, who can complain about an extra $500 some a month? You know, that can help you really lighten up your mood. And so, anyways, I hope this helps. That was my experience. If you like the video, and if you have any recommendations for further videos, let me know. I will possibly do a video more in depth on my experiences with the C&P exams. If you have questions about my experience and so forth, leave the comments down below, and I'll possibly do a video on it, or I'll just respond to you, because what the heck. Anyways, I hope this helps. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.